Yeah.
All right, today we are going to be reviewing the 2024 CAPiTA Mercury. Now, before we get started, I want to let you guys know why I'm doing a board review. It's because when I switched over to riding CAPiTAs, I got all these DMs and people were asking, what board should I get? Which ones do you like? What are you into? And so I realized I've been testing all these snowboards. I'm just going to share my experience in trying to find the right snowboard for me. So far, I've tested a ton of boards and I really have been enjoying the CAPiTA Mercury. I'm going to give you some stats so you guys have a little bit of context. I'm 180 pounds, 6 foot. I got a size 10 boot. I run a 21-inch stance. I've ridden a couple different Mercuries. So I rode the 156 wide for park. I took it to Mount Hood. The 156 wide was my spring park board. And then I rode a 158 wide for powder. To me, if I needed one snowboard to do everything, it's the CAPiTA Mercury. I like the 156 wide, but I was riding it in the slush. And the slush, you know, your edge digs in the slush. I don't like toe and heel drag. And the thing I loved about the wide, which a lot of times isn't the case, is it really got on edge nicely. A lot of times you get on a wide and it's like a 4x8 sheet of plywood. The thing just doesn't want to get on edge, you know, it wants to stay flat. This is a really surprisingly nimble 156 wide for me. The thing that's great about this board as a platform in general, whether you're riding a 47 or a 61, it is great for a variety of purposes. A kid that lived in Midwest and I wanted to ride some park jumps, but I was mainly jibbing, I would probably ride the 153 Mercury because it's going to be a little bit softer. For me, when I rode backcountry jumps, so I was riding the 158 and it's way more stable at high speeds. You got your middle of the road, which is the 156 wide or the 155 for somebody my size, which is going to be great for, oh, I want to go up on a powder day. I want to jump off some cliffs. I also want to ride some park jumps. It's kind of a Swiss Army knife. I just want one snowboard that I can grab off the rack and do everything. So for me, that's the 156 wide CAPiTA Mercury. All right, I'm gonna try to best explain the tech nerd side of stuff with this board. This board has the camber V2 profile. So what that means is that it's cambered underneath your bindings, underneath the middle of the board, and just outside the inserts, it switches to reverse camber. Which, for those who don't understand, you know, reverse camber generally is going to be a little bit softer, a little bit more playful, whereas camber is how they used to make snowboards: stiff, stable, snappy, but you got to muscle it, right? So what that really does for you is that underneath here, you have a really stable platform. And then the nose and tail being a little bit softer, what that's going to help with is if you're riding powder, the nose is probably going to float above the snow so you don't dive and go under, right? It's going to be a little bit more playful. You know, you do an ollie, you want to get that nose up. That reverse on the nose and tail is going to help you initiate those ollies. It's going to help with butters. It makes the board not feel like a plank. What would I say the flex of this board is? It's kind of more of a medium to medium stiff. So again, like talking about flex, it's all relative to size too. Like medium to stiff on a 161 is a plank. It's probably like a door. Whereas if I'm riding a 147, it's going to be a noodle for me. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind when you're picking your size of your snowboard. A couple other things with this board: you got your side cut and your torsional flex. Your side cut is your edge, right? Your angle of your edge on the side of your snowboard. So, you know, some are really aggressive, and that's going to be like a hooky, carvy board where you really are able to rail tight corners. This one, it actually feels smooth. Relax. It's not aggressive, but it's not hooky. It's predictable. That's the thing that's important to me. It's a predictable side cut. And then one thing where this thing really excels, it's extremely stable at high speeds. Where it doesn't really thrive, I would say, is as just a jib specific board. You know, can you do a backlift down a big rail on it in a 270? Sure. But if you're getting into really diving into nose presses and, you know, you want to whip, you know, tail press back threes and you just want to hike the down bar all day, I don't think this is the board for you. A little bit more all mountain than jib specific. It does fine on the jibs, but it doesn't thrive on the jibs. But all in all, really impressed with the Mercury platform as a board in general and would recommend it to anybody. You know, also guys, full transparency, you know, I'm supported by CAPiTA. I only ride CAPiTAs. I don't necessarily have a lot of other boards to compare it to, but I'm trying to be as authentic as I possibly can with these reviews and let you guys know, you know, what I liked about the board. And to me, that's why I'm giving you guys this information, because I really like this board. So If you're interested in getting a CAPiTA, you can always check out their website or your local snowboard shop. And thank you guys so much for checking out this review. You know, we also have the Bomb Hole podcast, which you guys can find where we talk about snowboarding. So thanks again, guys, and hope you have a great day and great season and enjoy snowboarding.